Well, good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Tom Schlueter with today's Tom's Take. Kay and I are in Rogers City, Michigan, on the coast of Lake Huron. Oh, it has been so beautiful up here. But I want to share something that I think I have already been hinting at over the last couple of days, as I've talked about the gate that I did yesterday morning. Before that, I had talked about the threshold. Well, I'm going to go back to an issue regarding the door. We are in the season of a door. We get there because the last digit of the Hebrew year that we are in ends with the number 4. That is Dalet. And Dalet is signified by a picture. And the picture looks like a door. And so the picture for this Hebrew year and for this Hebrew year is the picture of a door. There's a passageway. You're going to go through something. It has a lot of other meanings, but that's the one that I want us to lay on. It is a time and a season for us to know that the door is in front of us or behind us now, because as I shared on Monday morning, I have firm belief from the Spirit of the Lord that we have crossed the threshold. We are definitely in the season of war. Last week I talked about embracing the war, embracing warfare. We are in that season. It's very obvious with everything going on in the world, not only over in Israel, but even in our own nation. All the things that are going on with our governmental structures, it's a season of war. Again, not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, the darkness, the forces of evil, the chaos that surrounds us. And we are stepping through and have stepped through that door over the threshold into the heat of battle. Maybe it's important that I am wearing my Battleship Texas shirt today. Matter of fact, it is floating again, and the Lord had prophesied to me or spoken to me a couple of years ago when it was put into dry dock. He says, watch carefully because the Texas will float again. Now, it will never fire anything. It will never even run under its own power. But the prophetic picture of the Texas floating again and being totally revamped with everything being restored is a prophetic sign for us in this war season. But let's get back to the door. In 2014, again, it was a year ending in the number 4. I was flying back from Washington, D.C. We were at 30,000 feet. And as I was in that place, the Lord gave me an open vision. And in the vision, I saw myself standing at the bottom of these steps, and about halfway up the steps, there was a large portal. And I didn't see anything on the portal. It was just a large gateway portal type of thing. And I knew that I was to walk up these steps through that portal. And as I did, immediately there was a diamond-like armor that was being put on me, and a new sword was placed in my hand. I don't know where it came from, but I can figure out that very quickly, because as I got near the top of the stairs, I was literally caught up in a whirlwind. And as I studied carefully in the vision what the whirlwind was, it was angels whirling and swirling around me. And I knew that we were in a new season, going through a portal into a place of warfare. That's where we are. We have gone through the door. Well, here we are in 2024, 10 years later. 10 usually stands for the completion of something, a testimony, a governmental structure coming into completion. And so here we are. Well, this morning, I was reading my daily Bible readings, and what was coming up to me was the story of Joshua. As he had crossed over the Jordan River, he and all the tribes, and they had already defeated Jericho. The walls had fallen, and then they were going to go take this little town of Ai. It's pronounced the same way it's spelled, capital A, small letter I. As they went up to it, they thought, we don't need as many people as we did the first time, So they just took a few thousand people to go attack the city, and they were routed. And it's like, what in the world happened here? We just took down Jericho, we took down Sihon and Og on the other side of the Jordan River, and we can't take down this little town called Ai. And as he was grumbling, the Lord said, quit your grumbling. There was sin in the camp. And they found out that there was one of the tribes, one of the men out of one of the tribes, Achan, who had stolen away some gold bars and some other treasures from Jericho, which had been strictly prohibited by God in doing. So God took Joshua through the process of weeding out what tribe, what family, and then what name. And as they found that name, let me read the passage. This is from Joshua chapter 7, starting with verse 24. Then Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, son of Zerah, along with the silver, the robe, the bar of gold, and all that belonged to him, his sons, daughters, donkeys, oxen, sheep, tent, everything. Joshua led them all to the valley of trouble, which in the other translations is the valley of Achor, and said, why have you brought all this trouble on us? Yahweh will bring trouble on you today. Then all the people stoned Achan and his family to death. They burned up the bodies and all Achan's possessions. They raised over him a huge mound of stone that remains to this day. That is why the place was called the Valley of Trouble, or the Valley of Achor, ever since. Afterward, Yahweh's anger subsided against Israel. Now, there's another mention of this valley. The Joshua story took place around 1300 BC. Well, we're going to go 600 years into the future. And 600 years in the future, the prophet Hosea is prophesying to Israel. This is in Hosea 2, 14 through 20. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness. And he's speaking here about the people of Israel. And if you just read into it, I believe he's speaking to us, the ecclesia, as well. And I will speak tenderly to her. And there I will give her her vineyards, and make the valley of Achor a door of hope. And there she shall answer in the days of her youth, as at the time when she came out of the land of Egypt. And in that day, declares the Lord, you will call me my husband, and no longer will you call me my Baal, or Baal. For I will remove the names of the Baals from her mouth. They shall be remembered by name no more. And I will make for them a covenant on that day with the beast of the field, the birds of the heavens, and the creeping things of the ground. And I will abolish the bow, the sword, and war from the land, and I will make you lie down in safety. Now listen to this. And I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you to me in righteousness and in justice, in steadfast love and in mercy. I will betroth you to me in faithfulness, and you shall know the Lord. It's the year of the door. We're quickly coming to the end of that year, because at the head of the year, in just a few weeks, we will move into the year ending with the numeral 5. So we are at a crucial season right now, a warfare season, the season of a threshold, the season when the evangelist is saying, don't keep your eye, don't turn away from looking at that light. Keep your eyes on yonder light. And today, know that the door that you have passed through is because God is faithful and righteous and just, and you have moved through that threshold, that door, into a season of God's hope. Not the kind of hope that was horribly portrayed at a convention just last week, but God's hope. God's eternal hope. A hope which drives us towards victory from a point of victory. It is time, y'all. It is time. It is time for us to acknowledge that we indeed have walked over the threshold into the door of hope, into the season of victory by God. So do not fear, do not be shamed. God has got this, and He's using you and me and all of the ecclesia to bring forth His kingdom and His will on earth as it is in heaven. Blessings to all of you today. Thank you that we are all a part of a warring tribe that has passed through the door of hope. Blessings.